Hi, welcome to the Commercial Gas Engineer channel. In this particular site, I was changing a solenoid in a science lab, but I came to find out that this solenoid wasn't ideal for the sniffers that I was going to put on here for the gas guard, so they needed to be changed. There's the sniffer. You need one which can be attached on the downstream. See, that has the two ports. On this particular site, you may have seen me in a previous video doing the elements. So I've been changing a lot of elements recently, but I found that even though when I've been venting systems via different means, I'm not always getting the water to drain out, even though I'm opening up all the drain points and venting them and valving off everywhere. I'm still not getting all the water out of the cylinder. I think I'm going to have to make more of an effort opening up the taps and also siphoning the water out, actually sucking the water out and siphoning it, because it's taking more than 2 hours to get the water out. And when I'm opening it up, I'm having to snatch it and water's going everywhere. Let me know your experience in changing elements. I think I've changed more elements in the last month than I probably have in the last year or 2 or 3. I don't usually change that many elements as a commercial engineer, but I have been doing a lot of it recently. So I managed to get behind the calorifier and continue draining, but yeah, the drain down wasn't perfect. So here's the wiring setup I had. Can you see them here? It's I had 2 wires going in. It looked like live and neutral. It looked like it was 3-phase before, and I had a washer here underneath, like, or should I say some sort of O-ring, and it didn't seem to fit properly, so I did remove it. It held up anyway, but when I was trying to put the other gasket on, it just wasn't working. So also, one of my tools for opening these up didn't work. So you can see I've got my hammer here and my wrench in order to force this open. It's good to try and open these when you have water still in the system, to an extent, to just at least crack them, because it's heavier. You've got a bit more something to lean on rather than the whole calorifier dancing all over the place. So this is the old element which I managed to pull out. I wired it up like for like, but the system wasn't getting hot. So I had a little look inside the panel and I was trying to search for 3-phase inside here, because it looked like they previously had 3-phase. I tried it and it didn't work, it tripped. This is what I was trying, 3-phase on one side and then on the other side a neutral, but it didn't work. It tripped the MCB. As you can see here, here it is, line 1, line 2, line 3, neutral. Didn't work. I don't think the wires that were set up were done that way. I think it was set up for single phase. So this is what I did instead. I did put my live on this side and then I put my neutral on the other side, and then the elements started to get hot. But what I had before, this isn't what I had before. Before, what I had was live on one side. This is how I found it. And I had neutral on the other side, and that's how it looked like it was wired up before. But I don't think that this is where they were getting their heat source from, this particular way. I think they were getting heat source from either solar panel or some other way in the building, but not from this setup, or they didn't have hot water for a very long time and they were just calling us. Now, I didn't get a full history of the building. On another site, I had these 3 Bermuda boilers, Laganos, and sort of made by Worcester. So I had to change the service parts, so the probes, and you can see here the probes and the gaskets. So inside here you've got one of the gaskets. Obviously you have to turn the power off to the unit. It's good to have like at least 2 points of isolation. I'm not going to carry out safe isolation on this, but at least 2 points of isolation via the power, because you can make mistakes here, or someone can come in and turn it on by accident, not realizing. And then also shut off the gas when you're working on these. So on this unit, I haven't worked on it much, but I'm going to learn a few things on here to make life easy for myself along the way. Let me know in the comments below if you've worked on it before and any little tricks that you have. So it's good to film things at times, because especially when you're disconnecting things, take pictures or film, because it can help you remember. You can see I'm removing the flame detection lead. Later on, I'm going to be looking for that lead, and this video actually helped me. So I was looking to take those off without causing them any damage to the leads. And then the bolts here So down here now I've got my little socket set, which is fairly inexpensive, and I've got to try and find the right socket set for it and the right spanner. I would like to recommend that you invest in good tools, especially when you first start out in the trade. Don't go cheap, and also try to put your tools in one area in the plant room. Don't scatter them around, and also try to put your tools back in your bag, or do a little walk around at the end so that you don't forget anything. Let me know if you've got this socket set or if you've got the Barco one. Okay, yep, we've got the right bit, and then now we're going to start taking that off. Okay, so I removed the side door to make life easier for myself to get to it. Okay, so I moved the air inlet to make space for myself, and then I had the burner here at a slight angle, but I'm going to try and put it out. I've got it out now, and then inside here, inside the unit, you can see that it's not too bad. The condition of it is quite clean. Quite happy with it. This is about 400 kilowatts, this unit. Now we've got a gasket here, but we're going to replace that later. And here's the burner. You can see there's a lot of debris on there. The buildup of this kind of debris isn't good, because what it will do is it will damage this lovely mesh here. So here's another old unit that I could see which had a problem that was sitting in the plant room. You can see they had a manufacturer problem with one of the boilers, so manufacturer's defect, and they had to get the boiler replaced. Look at that, very bad. I had to find somewhere to get water. I didn't want to run back to my van to get any hoses or anything like that, so, or any sprays, so I just had to use the pressurization unit. Then I started washing down the burner and just using my hand to clean it as well. But I could find a little bit of damage on the mesh, which was a shame. But this unit is about 4 years old, so it's probably going to need a new burner. But I still had good combustion readings later on it, despite it starting to deteriorate. And I am putting the new probes in. Yeah, compare the difference, spot the difference. Okay, so here I am changing the gasket around here as well. That's going to replace this part here. I have also another gasket here to go on top of the fan. This is the gasket for the fan. I'm going to replace that, get rid of the old one, in with the new. Lovely, good fit. And see the condition of the fan, see how dirty it is down here. Not too bad. Okay, so getting it all back together now. Had to get these bolts back in first, because you have to line them up and then you get these in. Okay, now just doing a little recce, making sure everything is back in. Got my leads back in. Checking all is on first. Make sure the boiler is calling for heat. And then I had a little trouble with the boiler coming up with a fault code. I had to just make sure this stopped leaking as well, but I had to put some Boss White on that. But in the process, so the unit came on, but in the process, I found the boiler was coming with an AR1 fault code. This is the fault code, AR1, but the manufacturer told me that this is because in the end, the boiler believed that it had some sort of hot water sensor or something of that nature. Some sensor that it didn't actually have or need to have, and then I had to clear that on the system by doing what the manufacturer stated. Then I got the boiler into high and low fire. This is how you do it. You press chimney cheek first, wait till the dot comes, then you hold chimney sweep and service, and then when you see L there, that is high fire. And then if you want to go into low fire, you have to just hold down the reset button, and then it goes right down, and then you get it into low fire. And then you just wait for that flame signal. Thank you for joining me. Until next time. Bye bye bye.